Hi, Cheryl here from 24/7 Wellness and Living. I've spoken to you in the past about the hamstring and how when the hamstring gets really tight, all the postural issues it can cause, and it really can cause a lot. And I'm not going to go into them again, but you know, just as I say, TMJ, neck and shoulder issues, lower back pain, sagging bottom pushes the abdominals out. So a lot of problems that the tight hamstring can actually cause. So it's really important that we stretch our hamstring. And yet probably if I kind of just took 100 people at random and tested their hamstring flexibility, there would be a lot of people who would have very poor hamstring flexibility. I'd say probably about 75, maybe even 80% might have poor hamstring flexibility. Because, as I say, various reasons, you know, one I've spoken to you as well about the dangers of sitting and for prolonged periods and how that shortens the muscle. And so the hamstring does get tight, and it is tight on a lot of people because we just, you know, it feels uncomfortable to stretch it, so we don't do it. But also I do understand when that muscle is really tight, that it can be really uncomfortable and almost like bordering on painful to stretch it. And often getting into position to stretch it successfully pulls into your back because it's dragging your pelvis under, so your lower back takes the work. And so it actually becomes a stretch that becomes actually a little bit dangerous for you because it's starting to pull into the lower back as opposed to the hamstring getting more flexible. So it actually works against you as opposed to for you. So what I wanted to share with you today is a stretch for the hamstring. For those of you who are really, really inflexible, and you know, obviously we've all got to start somewhere. And so because I know it's so important that you stretch your hamstring, I want to try and give you a stretch here today for those of you, as I say, who find it very difficult to stretch it without it compromising other body parts and causing issues. So you're trying to do something that's actually good for you, but you end up harming another body part, and particularly the lower back. So this stretch is for you. It's a really great stretch to start you off and then start to really be able to isolate the hamstring and work on its flexibility without compromising other body parts. So here we are then, we're actually in a door frame, would you believe? And this is a great way for those of you who are pretty inflexible, and it's a great way to isolate the hamstring. So you're going to lay yourself down in a door frame, and you're going to place your leg up onto the actual frame of the door there. And you know, this might be enough. So you can be as far away as you want to be, and then the more flexible you come, the sort of closer you can get to the wall. So the other leg can literally go through the door. And so you've got room then to eventually work on getting that leg completely straight so that you end up with your bottom basically touching the baseboard or the skirting board, and the leg being elongated. Don't overflex the foot. So you want to sink your weight to the pelvis. Don't lift that pelvis off the floor like that. So you want to drop the weight and just squeeze the leg up against the door frame. And that way it's you know, holding it for you, and you're getting the benefit of the stretch. But as I say, you can work by moving yourself gradually towards the door frame. And as I say, for some of you, you might need to be, you know, way back here, but that's fine. This way you'll start to work on that hamstring flexibility and get the best from this stretch with no stress on the rest of the body. But as I say, just make sure that that pelvis stays anchored into the floor and you feel the weight dropping into the pelvis. And then just use the door frame to, you know, as far away as you need to be, and then start to work as close as you can get. So over time, hopefully you'll get to that position where the leg is completely straight up into that door frame, and you'll start to improve the flexibility of your hamstring and be able to move on then from this position. So there's a really great hamstring stretch for you to start with. My name's Cheryl Alker, 24/7 Wellness and Living. Nice position to be speaking to you in, I'm sure. But hey, we do what we can, hey? And so this is, as I say, great hamstring stretch. Hope to speak to you soon. Please visit our website, www.247wellness and living, and I'll speak to you soon.